Hi guys, welcome to this Halloween tutorial. This is going to be one of the cracked doll. So I do hope you do like it. So first of all, I'm just going to be applying some primer from MAC. And this is just a sample primer that I got. It does work really well, makes your skin all nice and smooth. MAC do have very high quality, but I tend not to use MAC that much anyway. So yep, I'm just going to apply that all over my face. Next, I'm going to be applying some NYX Dark Circle Corrector underneath my eyes because let's face it, when you're basically a doll, dolls have no bags underneath the eyes, so I'm just covering my bad boys up. So guys, now I'm going to be applying some foundation all over my face. It doesn't matter what colour for me, I'm very pale anyway. Now I'm going to be applying some concealer underneath my eyes just to make sure my face looks white and to the highlighted areas that I'm going to do. So my chin, my forehead and my nose. So now I'm just going to blend that in with my same flat top face brush. Now I'm going to apply some translucent powder underneath my eyes to make sure my under eye does not crease and eventually apply the translucent powder all over my face. Now I'm going to put a blush on. This is a blush stick from Makeup Revolution. You just pop it on there and rub it in with your fingers and it does create a nice soft pink colour for your cheeks to be all nice and pinky. I mean, this is a doll, so I'm thinking dolls don't have contour, they just have like pink cheeks and that's about it. But dolls, you can have anything like that. I'm going for a very old China doll here. And then I'm going to put some blush on to my cheeks as well, just to amp up the pink colour just a little bit to make sure you do see the rosiness of the cheeks as you would see on a doll. So now I'm going to put on this red cream lip cream onto my lips because it's very pigmented. It's from Makeup Revolution. I do love the colour as well. This would been good in my Harley Quinn tutorial as well, but I wanted something to stay there. This does stay there. It's just a really nice and smooth cream. It's very red as well. I'm going with red just because I'd like to have like you see them old dolls, old China dolls, and basically they have nice pink cheeks, red lips, and yeah, so that's why I'd gone for the redness. So now I'm just going to be filling in my eyebrows with the Volumizer Gimme Brow because I don't want to spend too much time on my eyebrows because dolls really have thin eyebrows. I don't, so I'm just making the best of it with my eyebrows. So I'm just applying the eyebrow Gimme Brow just on my eyebrows to make sure they're done in place and to make sure they're really nice. But yeah, that is all I'm using for that. So now I'm going to be putting some eyeshadow onto my eyes. Doll's eyes are really wide. Some of them are wide, some of them are small. I'm basically putting some eyeshadow onto my eyes. This is from the Tanya Bear and it's one called Icy some colour. I leave all the items that I will be using down in the description bar below. But I'm just putting that onto my eyes and then putting a darker colour into my crease. So it just looks like my eyes are a bit wider and they're like dolls basically. So now I'm going to be creating some freckles. You can do this with anything you like. I don't have any SFX makeup, but I'm just basically putting some freckles on. I did this a lot when I was at school and kind of no one noticed the difference. What I just did was basically got some brown pencil, put a load of dots onto my nose area, and then basically with a cotton bud I just basically smudged them in so they look like freckles. So I'm just doing that basically to resemble the appearance of freckles. I do have some freckles on my nose, but with my sort of doll that I'm creating, I would like to have some freckles on there. You can blend it out with a cotton bud or your finger, it really doesn't matter, but make sure you do blend it in so it looks like freckles. So now I'm going to be putting on some mascara just to basically make sure some mascara's on my eyes and to make sure my eyes are all done. So yeah, let's put some mascara on both of my eyes. So afterwards, this is what you should be left with the doll face. So basically now it's time for the cracks. I'm taking a Maybelline gel eyeliner. This one is really good. It's long lasting. It doesn't smudge. I'm holding them two paintbrushes up because I was going to use them, but I found something thinner in my makeup brush bag and it was the XO Beauty eyeliner. So now it's time for the cracks. So basically now you're a bit zoomed in and hopefully you can see me alright. So now it's time for the cracks. So as you can see, I'm just taking something on my cheek, some black on my cheek, and basically outlining basically a crack where a crack would be. Make sure it's not neat. Cracks are not neat, they're really messy, and I'm just filling in the crack. I can see just filling in the crack, just to basically make sure it looks like there's a crack in her face, like there's literally a hole in her face. That's what I was going for. Then I'm just basically taking some more black and basically, you know, creating some lines around the crack to make sure, you know, it's cracking and everything. You might need to pick up some more black gel eyeliner like I have done, and as you see I'm just making smaller cracks and a bit thinner because all cracks are not the same. Some are big, some are not, and I put some that are big and some are small just because when you do go for a bigger crack, you can see it a lot more, and then a thinner crack, it's not that bad. You can see I'm just putting cracks all over my face. this is what you would be left with on your cheek, just a load of cracks basically. You can go back and kind of mess around with it, make the black of the crack even darker so it does look like a crack. But this is what I was left with at the end of what I've done. So as you can see, just nice and cracked on the cheek. So now I'm starting on the forehead, and this one is going to be an even bigger. As you can see, I'm just basically making an outline for the crack in the middle first of all. I find this way to be a lot simpler than basically like, drawing all splodges of all black. So you can see I've got the outline. So next is I'm just going to fill in the outline with some more gel liner. Don't worry, this stuff does come off, it's only makeup anyway. And I'm just filling in all the inside. So basically you want to make sure this bit is really black, really dark, no missing stuff, no missing skin that you think that you've done with makeup. You want to make sure this looks as real as you possibly can. So as you can see, I'm just filling it in all the way. So now I'm just creating lines around the perimeters of the crack. So as you can see, I'm going to like the corners, like where the points are and everything, just to make sure that because when you see a crack, it's not like just one big crack in the hole. There are little cracks around it. I do some of the lines bigger, so it looks like the face is actually literally gonna be cracking a little bit more. So I can see I'm just putting on some near my eyebrow as well. Just make sure you've got enough cracks there, but don't overdo it. I really like the way this turned out in the end when you see it. So I'm going back in with my gel liner and making the one on my cheek even like bigger. I didn't like it that small, so I decided to change it and make sure it looks really bigger. So it looks like it's basically a bigger crack than it already is. And I think the bigger I made it, it looked a little bit better. But I actually did like it. So now what I'm just doing a line underneath my eye. I wanted to make sure that her skin was cracking, but it wasn't as bad as I'd thought. Some dolls, when they do crack, they just have a line and a dot to basically, make sure you can see that it's cracking and everything. So to me, it resembled a little bit of a tear. I did smudge out with a cotton bud just to basically make the effect look like it's not as harsh of a crack as people might think, because you got the really faint cracks in some China dolls, and they're not even cracked yet. So I can see I'm just basically making sure that it looks good and just not as cracked as it seems. So guys, this is the completed look of the cracked doll makeup tutorial. Please, if you'd like to recreate this, please recreate it yourself, and please tag me on Instagram if you have, at Charlene Beauty XO. Hopefully you do enjoy this. Please like if you like this, and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I'll see you later in my next video. Bye guys.
Okay guys, so with Harley Quinn's look, she has no blush, no contour. She just basically does her eyes and her lips, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to curl my